right now.
Ellis Moran from Black Women TV talking to Joy Bryant, Henry Simmons, Cherish Today, Season 2. How's it going, folks?
Going
Pretty
great.
good. How you doing?
Each of you have had your share of television for a number of years. Now you're together. What went into saying yes to taking on this project? Joy?
What went into saying yes? It was, well, the story for one. I fell in love with the story that's about love, and something that I think especially in these times, we need more stories like this about people falling in love or rekindling love. There's plenty of reminders in the world about how crazy the world is and how uncertain it is and how dark it can be at times. And what's the perfect antidote to that is to be reminded of love in all forms, whether it's romantic or with your family. And for me, this project had all those things, and it was kind of a no-brainer to be a part of it, because I'm like, oh, I want to watch this. I want to see this. I want to feel this. And so that was the thing that really hooked me. And then of course, I mean, from working with Henry and then and then it's like it's Ava, it's Oprah, it's like, oh, okay. And then it's just a no-brainer. The stars were aligned.
Ingredients are there. How about you, Henry?
You know, I'll have to say that it's a number of things. It's first of all, working with Black women that are in executive, making executive decisions, the president, Ava, Oprah. Then it was the story, Black love. Okay, and then the final thing for me, it was I have never done a love story before. I've never been a romantic lead. I've never been in a love story. So it was all new for me in that sense. So that a lot of circumstances drew me to the story, and it was well worth the wait.
You know, Black love is always the selling point. You know, we like to see more of that, you know, whether it be on film or on television. And, you know, you look at these characters, you know, they're reconnecting. People always like to see when people reconnect to see whether or not there's something still there. For each of you, how do you relate to the characters you're playing? How is Joy like Sunday, and how is Henry like Ellis? Joy?
How am I like Sunday?
You know, here's the thing I say. Whenever you read a script, there's got to be something within the character that you say, I can do this. And and when you're playing a role, mentally you have to tell yourself, even though there's a script, I can do this without saying the words. So how do you relate to?
Well, I mean, I'm a romantic. So, you know, like, again, it's like, I wanted to live in this world. I don't like to cook, but I like to eat. So I connected with her own food, which is always a great connector. It's the great connector.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, I guess on a more serious side, when it came to her relationship with her father and the struggles that they were going through as a family, and what her father was going through with his health, I have so many friends, too many friends, who are dealing with the same issues with their parents right now, including a couple of friends whose both of their parents are going either have dementia or Alzheimer's at the same time. So they're not dealing with one parent, and two parents doing things. So I connected with that as well. And that bringing up the notion of like mortality, and now, you know, we're of a certain age and you're taking care of parents. I mean, my parents and caregivers are all deceased, so I don't have that dynamic, but I understand it because I am seeing my friends go through it in real time right now, and what that means for, you know, your mortality, how you look at mortality and how you look at sort of your parents in a way. So I connected to that aspect because of my friends and their dynamic. So that's my connection to the project.
Mhm. What about you, Henry? Are you a former ball player? Like, you know, when you read the script and you say, okay, I've done this, I can do this, or I've done this.
Yeah, yeah, I played basketball before. It, I wasn't anything fantastic in college or anything like that, but I'll be honest with you, not much is very. I have in connection with Ellis. I'm not like him at all, really, except for the fact that he has two little girls and he loves them immensely. That is one thing that really drew me in because that is a driving factor throughout all of his decisions. So that was the hook for me. That was the hook. But anything else, quite honestly, I'm not like Ellis at all.
When was the time, whether you're married or not, or you're in a relationship or not, was there a period of time when you saw somebody, whether it be at a reunion, high school, college, whatever, and you had thoughts of like, what is this person like? Obviously, with these two characters, it's been, you know, at least a decade since they reconnected, and they each have a look like, oh, how are you, and so forth. And there's always a feeling when you see somebody you haven't seen in a while, it can be a friend or so forth, where you have that question mark, like, what have they been up to? For you,
Mhm.
each of you, has it been a friend, a family member that you haven't seen in a minute that you had that thought about what have you been up to, like what could have been, and so forth?
Oh, I mean, well, I mean, it was exactly this situation, but like, back in my single years, I rekindled something with someone who it was kind of like, I mean, I guess sort of childhood, I guess, yeah, or not childhood, that sounds weird, but you know, like teens or early adult or whatever. And we saw each other, we were like, oh, and then, you know, we connected for a period of time, and then time revealed that, like, you know, maybe it's time to move on. But okay. So I have explored that, and yeah, been there, done that.
How about you, Henry? Was there a period of time where you saw someone, friend or not, you know, that you had thoughts about what's been on with their life and so forth? Well, even if you know go through pictures, like I said, there's always a reunion. You never know where you're gonna meet somebody, you know, or see somebody again.
You mean romantically, like reconnect with them romantically?
Not necessarily romantically, but just, you know, like rekindling a friendship.
Oh, a friendship. Yeah. Well,
Because
first of
that's what
all,
it starts off with.
yeah, I have to say romantically, no. If something ended, generally there's a good reason why it ended. And then I feel like for me, there's been a certain amount of growth and maturity on both parts, for both people. So it's just, no, I've never been interested in rekindling anything. But in terms of, well, yeah, I mean, there might be some times where you work with people, you'd be like, oh man, I wonder what they're up to now, you know, that kind of thing. But besides that, that's about it. Yeah.
Well, we won't go into more episodes because there's a lot that's going on with the characters you guys are playing. I think, you know, people are going to enjoy it. As you mentioned, you know, Ulm is a good place for Black love, and a lot of those shows have demonstrated that. So here's to Sunday and Ellis to see where we go. Keep it going. Have a good one, folks.
Thank you.